Alright, hello everyone and welcome back to my Fallout 4 Mod Spotlight series, where today we are having a look at the Wattz 2000 Laser Carbine, which is being made by user Jake Nicois, and what this glorious little piece of work looks to add into the game is, well, pretty self-explanatory. It's the Wattz 2000 Laser Carbine, which was pretty much the laser weapon of choice in the original Fallout, as well as Fallout 2. And you guys know me, I love these throwback weapons from previous games, because in my mind, it just makes sense. It kind of annoys me when game companies forget what they've previously done, because, I mean, why wouldn't we, in this wasteland, not have something that we have found in other wastelands in the same universe? It just makes sense in my mind. But yes, the Wattz 2000 Laser Carbine is, of course, a laser weapon, and if we go take a look at it in our inventory here, it's a pretty decent little gun. As you can see, a little bit long in the standard version. It kind of goes off the screen a bit, but in its standard form, it will do 80 damage with, of course, the standard energy cell, with a firing rate of 20, range of 47, accuracy of 82, and a weight of just a mere 5.3, and overall it is a pretty wonderful little gun. It's not exactly the greatest, but it's also not too shabby either, and I find it quite enjoyable to use. Now you can tell that the back of the weapon has been heavily borrowed from the in-game laser rifle that we have already, but the rest of the body is certainly very much that of the Wattz 2000. Now where you will find this gun is a little bit more interesting, as all it says on the mod page is that it's been added to the leveled list, and you'll find it anywhere that you would find a charger or a charging laser rifle. So yeah, wherever that spawns, this is where it'll spawn as well. Now eventually the mod maker does want to add it to the Wattz Consumer Electronics store once he does figure out how to do that, but for the time being, you might as well just cheat it in with the console like I do. And yes, that is the Wattz 2000 rifle. So let's go take a look at what we do have for modifications, and then of course we'll take some shots. Now, the modifications are slightly limited right now, but that will definitely change. It's one of the things that is on the mod page, that it says that more mods will come in the future. So for the time being, we have in our capacitor category quite an interesting range of capacitors, which makes it actually a little interesting to figure out max damage on this thing. I've been having a little bit of trouble figuring out the best damage I can do with it so far, but we go everywhere from an advanced capacitor to an advanced capacitor plus, which really does ramp up the damage. Beta wave tuners, also in a plus version, which does burning damage, and who doesn't love to set things on fire? It's just hilarious. A focus capacitor for increased accuracy, photon agitator, critical damage, etc., down to the bottom one here where we have the Wattz Carbine light capacitor, which reduces the ammo capacity but really helps lighten the load of the gun. And finally, the Wattz Sure Shot capacitor, which as you can see here greatly increases the range, so perfect for a sniper rifle. All good, wonderful mods. Now next is with the barrels, where we have again a normal and then a plus version of the heavy barrels here, which greatly does add to the range of the weapon, which is always good. An advanced one, which slightly raises the range. The standard that comes with it. A repeater barrel, which actually is what you use to turn it into an automatic weapon, rather than in the capacitor section, which is what I found, or the receiver section rather, which is what I found odd that it was in barrels instead. But if you would like an automatic, that is where you go. And finally, we have the short barrel and short barrel plus, which, as you can see, basically removes the barrel altogether, but does improve damage, which is intriguing. And then, of course, we have in the stock category a cell saddle, a full stock, a marksman stock, recoil compensating stock, and finally a bog standard sort of laser rifle stock there. All good options, you know, your pretty typical thing, changing weight, accuracy, etc. And then in sights, we have a couple of options here: a standard iron sight, a long scope, medium, short, and then the Wattz Sure Shot scope, which does the target tracking, which is very good, so you can mark your targets. Always a good function to have. And also a pretty interesting, as you can tell on the modeling, it changing it there, where we have a fun little custom scope on top, which seems to have some wiring down to the electronics. Fun indeed. And then finally, we have the muzzles, where we have, for some reason, 2 no muzzles, one of which lowers the weight. I don't understand what that does, frankly, but it's there. We then have a large bayonet, and then also a laser focuser, which of course will be for better scoped accuracy, but more recoil. Now, all in all, with the different modifications, I've created, you know, besides the standard version here, a scoped one, which I've made for basically as a sniper rifle with 112, and then a fiery one, which only does 96, but it will light people on fire, and both of those are, well, entertaining and fun. So let us actually exit out of here and take some shots. So of course, first with the standard version, now it is basically going to sound exactly like the in-game laser rifle that we do have right now. So more or less is going to function as such, and same with the animation, same sort of popping out the energy cell and then putting it back in. Now for the scoped one, of course, that is the most powerful one I've made so far, but not quite the most powerful you can make. One of the barrels does increase damage, but it also reduces accuracy, so technically I could have made it, I think, 130, but then it wouldn't be a sniper rifle anymore because it'd basically be a shotgun. But with the scope, it's quite nice, has good accuracy, and of course, the same sort of laser fire shot as per usual. And there we go, and then finally, my bayoneted fiery Wattz 2000, which is fun because, well, it lights stuff on fire, and it's basically a shotgun with a fun bayonet, which, I guess to show the fire, we will have to shoot dog meat there, but there we are. Lovely. It will set things on fire, at least briefly, but that's fun to do. So let us actually pull out our best one here, the scoped, and oh, as per usual, go back over here to this poor wild mongrel who has to die. It has to happen. So let's just go in for a scope. Poor guy is having a little bit of a scratch, and I am all over the place. Let's hold the breath, and boom! Did not kill him in one shot, surprisingly. There we go. We got him on the second, though. I guess it probably was because I hit him probably just behind the abdomen, so not the best spot. But overall, with the 112 damage, you should be pretty good at doing a fair bit of sniping damage to a lot of people. And now this is without any perks currently on my character to enhance that, so you should have a different experience with whatever you do choose for your skills. And so yeah, that is the Wattz 2000 Laser Carbine. I really have enjoyed having this in the game, because, well, again, like I said at the beginning, I always love when we have these throwback mods to weapons and items from previous games. It's just fun. And yeah, always nice to have additional weapons, especially energy weapons, as so many weapon mods these days do seem to be, you know, modern bullet weapon types. So it's fun to have more laser and energy weapons coming out. But that is, of course, going to be it for today's episode. If you would like to try out this mod for yourself, and I definitely suggest that you go and do that, you can take a look at the link in the description as always. And yeah, I definitely say go check it out, have some fun, and, you know, shoot some people with some fiery lasers. But that's going to be it for today, folks. I hope you have enjoyed, and of course, that you do come back for the next episode, when we'll hopefully be looking at yet another wonderful mod. But until that time, thank you for watching, and as always, have a good one!